It's my feel-good breakfast show.
Sniffling, sneezing, itching, oh my! I can joke about it, but it gets real very quickly for a lot of people. Welcome to the world of allergies, where nature's beauty comes with a side of the sniffles. Joining us this morning to help unravel the mysteries of allergy management. There is hope at hand. We welcome back one of our favorites, Professor Claudia Gray. Welcome back, Prof.
Thank you, Graham.
I feel like we have this conversation often, and it brings to bear how many people are affected by allergies, and it's kind of a sliding scale. Can you please explain to us what an allergy actually is? What's going on in our body that can bring about such a hectic response?
Yeah, Graham, so we've all got a very sophisticated immune system that helps us fight infection, it helps us not fight ourselves, and sometimes the immune system gets it wrong. So an allergy is really a response to something that shouldn't cause a problem. So a pollen particle or a house dust mite or a food or a medication. And in some people, the body gets it wrong and identifies it as an enemy, so to say, and then sets up a response to try and fight that protein. And the response can include things like itching and sneezing and swelling and even tightness of the chest. And it can be from very mild, as you say, to serious reactions. But your body's got it wrong and is fighting something that really shouldn't be causing trouble.
How do we sit in South Africa? Are we a kind of an allergy-rich part of the world? Because we've got so much flora, we've got so much going on around us. Are there areas that are hardest hit? What do we look like in that landscape?
Yeah, so Graham, the first thing to say is when we talk about allergies, there's obviously this huge spectrum, but we're focusing here more on environmental allergies and perhaps also spontaneous hives. So something like asthma is in about 10 to 15% of people in South Africa. Something like allergic rhinitis, where we inhale the allergen and then have a response like itching, sneezing, swelling, red eyes, is up to 30% of people. So a third of the population can be responding aberrantly to something harmless in the environment. Something like urticaria, where you break out in hives, an acute episode where you get it sort of as a once-off in response to a virus or so, is up to 15% of people. And chronic, so people who get relapsing hives day after day, month after month, year after year, is in 1 or 2% of the population. When we talk about environmental things, it obviously varies according to where you live. So the coastal areas like Cape Town and Durban, where it's humid, we're very rich in dust mite allergies here, house dust mite, mold, indoor allergies. Grass pollens are all over the country, but that's the main allergy in the Highveld and in the interior of South Africa. But wherever you are, there are different allergens, and different people can respond to different things. You may even just be responding to your doggy at home or your kitty cat.
Yeah. What are the impacts of an allergy, especially an allergy left untreated or unmanaged?
So, Graham, the effect on the quality of life can actually be quite substantial. So, an example, if you're itching, sneezing, swollen, it makes you feel pretty lousy. So your performance at work or at school can suffer. Your sleep can suffer. If you've got a blocked nose, a wheezy chest, you're not going to sleep well, and that in addition is going to affect your daytime performance. Some people actually get depressed with allergies. Kids can present with attention deficit disorder because they're always itching and sneezing, and often you just have to treat that first, get their sleep right, and then you know, the child's performing a lot better. In fact, conditions like severe eczema or chronic hives have a quality of life reduction that's similar to that of patients with diabetes or epilepsy. So it's often very under-recognized how severe the reduction in quality of life can be.
And can often be a barrier towards doing the stress-relieving activity. And that being said, we can manage it. So what do we look for when we're looking for an over-the-counter or a home remedy, something that has worked, that we have seen work? How does that work? What do we do to manage allergies?
Sure. So first of all, have a correct diagnosis, because so many things can mimic allergies. A kid with Krish syndrome who's getting one virus after the next, it could actually just be Krish syndrome and not an allergy. So you want to know, what have I got? Because treatments differ.
For sure.
And then if I do have an allergy, what am I allergic to? Because your first port of call is to try and reduce the allergen, to reduce those fluffy toys and blankets in a dust mite
and at least that's something you can do practically.
Absolutely. And then the next step would be your simple medicine, pharmacological treatment. And lastly, something called desensitization, where you actually teach your body to tolerate something. But the simple medications are very readily available. Nose sprays, antihistamines, and they can be very effective if you choose the right one for the job. And I came up with the 5 S's of choosing an antihistamine. The 6th one is a bonus. So the first S is safety.
Okay, 100%.
So especially in young kids, you always want to give a medication that's safe. The second one is superiority. So you want something to be efficacious. You want it to work. And ideally, you want it to be superior to other similar drugs. The third one is specificity. So you want a medication to specifically act where you want it to be acted, so targeted against a histamine receptor, not attaching to a whole lot of other receptors which can cause side effects. You also want it to work swiftly, and that's the 4th S. You know, there's no good having a snotty, itchy nose, and then you take a medication, and 10 hours later, you find
when
it
your
feel
workday
better.
is done.
You want it to work fast and furiously. And lastly, you want it to be scrumptious. So especially in children, we need medications to be palatable. Otherwise, they ain't going to take them.
Bottom line.
And then no matter how good they are, it's not going to have an effect at all. And the overriding S is smart. Smart choice, smart kids. So you keep your kids smart.
Keep them smart and yourself feeling smart because you've sorted out a massive conundrum.
Smart.
The bottom line is you need someone in your corner, okay? And it's time to wave goodbye to watery eyes and stuffy noses and embrace a world where allergies hold no power over us. I feel like I should proclaim that with a fist in the air. No power. I love that. Prof, thank you so much. You're an absolute gem.
Thank you.
Recognize the signs and symptoms of allergies so that you can live your greatness every day. Nothing beats Telfast for fast, non-drowsy, 24-hour allergy relief.